Alright, since 93 Sports back with another one. I know I'm late to the party. I wanted to go ahead and give my thoughts on the infamous Boxing Voice interview that included Deontay Wilder, Eddie Hearn, Deontay Wilder's advisor or manager, Shelly Finkel, and even Tyson Fury dropped in on the discussion. I want to give a shout out to Black Fight Fan TV for putting me up on the video a couple days ago. I didn't know about the interview until I heard his video on the topic, and I want to definitely get a shout out to the Boxing Voice. They must have some sort of relationship with Eddie Hearn for him to be willing to come in, 2-3 times and just give exclusive interviews, dropping gems. I know he probably has his own motives for doing that. I guess the Boxing Voice is his outlet to the U.S. market to get out whatever propaganda he wants to try to get out. And it's good for everybody, But it was some really interesting topics that were discussed in this interview. Eddie Hearn's feet was held to the fire, man. A lot of these times when you got these promoters doing interviews and things of that nature, you really don't got the fighter and the fighter's team there to be able to defend themselves, on the spot. Usually they'll defend themselves in later interviews, but you don't got them a chance for them to defend themselves right away. And that's an interesting, aspect that was brought to that, platform or whatever. And, he definitely got exposed, man. He tried to go ahead and say that, he's not got no contract from Deontay Wilder or anything from his team about the fight. And, Wilder called his management, Shelly Finkel, and he got on there and just, start spewing facts, talking about all the emails he got, all the correspondence that he got with Eddie Hearn. And, Eddie Hearn basically had no rebuttals, man. All he was like was, okay, I'm in New York, we can talk if you want to talk. So, it's going where it needs to go as far as the negotiations. And, let's be honest, man, like, this is like the talk of boxing, like, every outlet is talking about this fight, man. Like, if anybody want to come out and say that, this is not a huge fight, just look at the movement that's going on right now, man. Everybody's talking about this fight. Nobody's talking about Canelo and Triple G. Nobody's talking about that fight. Nobody's fucking talking about David Haye and Tony Bellew. That fight's coming up next month. Nobody's really talking about any of these fights that's coming up or any of these big name fighters for real, man. It's all about Wilder versus Joshua, okay? And that's how it needs to be, man. That's how you know you got a huge fight. It don't need to be built no more, and let's get them in there, And if, Eddie Hearn's talking about, it's all about legacy at this point. It's not about the money, blah, blah, blah. Then, quit talking about that shit. If you feel like he can whoop Wilder's ass, don't be talking about, oh, the man gonna got, 19 fight or 20 fights or whatever. He's still a baby. The man's 28 years old, man. Like, come on. He got a late start. He's gonna have to be moved a little bit quicker. He's been, brought up the right way. He's got, top level sparring. I mean, come on. That's what it is, man. Go ahead and throw him in there. And that's what it is. And I believe Eddie Hearn, he wants to put Joshua in there with Wilder. He feels like Joshua is the better fighter, but they're not on the same page. It's just like, Eddie Hearn is writing checks that, Joshua's ass is gonna have to cash. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a situation to where, in the schoolyard, a girl got a big brother, and he like, a dude say something slick to her or whatever. I'm gonna get my brother on you or whatever, and the brother, can't even fight. And he like, damn, you just, put me on the spot. He like, shit, I can't back down. It's my sister, but damn, you finna give me an ass whooping. And that's kind of how I feel in the Anthony Joshua situation. Eddie Hearns, throwing his mans out there like, hey, we ready, and Joshua ain't on the same page. That's why you hear Joshua, beating around the bush. Just even in a post-fight interview in the tackle fight, you got Joshua talking about, oh, I got all these mandatories, it's gonna happen. And Eddie Hearn come in like the hype man, like, yeah, we ready for Wilder, we blah blah. they not on the same page, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, Joshua's the one that got to take them right hands, and that's how Joshua feel, you know? But he need to just come out and say that. Don't beat around the bush, make up lies talking about you. Today, I believe, or yesterday, Joshua finally came out and said he ain't got no contract or blah, blah. You know, we not finna play these games, man. You just like Dream Chase and Boxing said, you know, you the A side, you not getting the contract sent to you. You sending out the contracts. You making the stipulations because you the A side, and ain't nobody ever disputed that. Anthony Joshua was the A side. That's been that's been established, man. And it was just funny, man. You got Tyson Fury calling in. They out here fucking debating on, oh, you can have him or no, you can have him. And then Wilder's like, nah, man, you got Klitschko, man. Let me have Joshua first. So it's like, oh my God, man, it's crazy, man. This is a huge fight, man. Like looking back, man, I would have never thought this fight would be this huge. Okay, and you know everybody's talking about, oh, let's let it marinate, blah blah blah. Come on now, if you know Pacquiao and Mayweather would have fought when they were supposed to fight, win, lose, or draw, you know they could have had a trilogy. And they could have made even more fucking money. Okay, you got Joshua and Wilder. You know, you put them in the ring now. Win, lose, or draw, you can maybe get 3-4 fights out of it. So it's a win-win for every camp. You know, as long as the fights are competitive, you can keep making, you know, maybe 2-3 more fights. So, you know, that's how I feel about the situation, man. Shouts out to the LDBC. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to be notified when all my latest content drops. And I'm out.